I'm live. Okay. Well, this is really sad news. It's a really sad day. My phone has been blowing up. I'm sure so many other people know what I'm talking about. But the news is out, and it's very sad news that Edge Theory Labs has closed their doors as of today. As of today, Edge Theory Labs is no longer in business. And so there was a letter sent by the founders, and I just kind of want to address it. Um, yeah, this is sad. This is like my third time ever going live, so this is a lot of new things. I'm not used to this, but I do want to make a resource for people who have purchased Edge Theory Labs products. Um, a resource because anytime a big company goes out of business, it affects a lot of people. I know it's hard on the founders. So Josh and Josh and Rob Church, two cousins who started this company, I think back in 2021, 2022. I got a crazy story. I actually purchased Edge Theory Labs tub. I spent $5,000 on it. Just like many, I spent my hard-earned money on that tub. I was one of their first customers. And this is really sad news because I remember the excitement I had when they first came out. When this product was first launched, it was like, man, the first inflatable, portable, cold plunge, hot plunge, capable of 39 degrees. Take it with you. It was awesome. You could use it as a hot tub at night, cold tub in the morning, like all the things. It got me so excited. I sold my wife on it. I was like, babe, it's a lot of money, but man, it's super awesome. We're going to get one of these things. It's going to change our life. And my experience with them was not that great. And I think if you followed my channel for a long time, you probably know that I had an Edge Theory Labs tub, and I did some content on it early on before I reviewed products. And it was so exciting. I remember my kids getting so excited because we purchased this thing. We got it. I did a video with my little iPhone mini 13 front-facing camera, setting it up. It was like a 4-minute video. And we were so excited to turn this thing on, and the chiller wouldn't turn on. At the time, they were very open. There was a lot of resources where you could access the team at Edge Theory Labs. So I reached out to them. I was like, hey, what am I doing wrong? They walked me through it. That chiller was broke. So I was so frustrated. But in the meantime, I ordered the thing, and it took like 4 months for me to get. In the meantime, I had built a DIY cold plunge. I did some research on how to build a large fish aquarium. That was pretty much what I typed in because there wasn't a lot of resources for cold plunging at the time. And I found this active aqua chiller that was being recommended for larger aquariums, and it could get down to 39 degrees. And I found the pump that went with it, and the tubing and the filters. And I built this DIY cold plunge. And I was able to use that thing while I was waiting for my Edge Theory Labs tub to show. So I was getting cold. I had a way to get cold, but man, there's so many people out there who have purchased Edge Theory Labs tubs that maybe you're in the middle. I'm getting messages, so many messages. And that's why I felt like I needed to go live and just kind of talk about this and address it because this sucks, man. This is a really sad moment for a lot of people. Like, you purchased a very expensive health and wellness product that's supposed to change your life, and potentially you have a product currently that doesn't work. What do? What are we going to do next? Well, at the end of this live, I'm going to provide a resource for you that might be of some help to some people. And it is a DIY kit on Amazon that I put together out of requests from people that you can take your Edge Theory Labs tub, or really any of the tubs that have a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch connection port on the back. And you can use the DIY setup that I built 2 years ago that still works today, and thousands of others have done as well. And that should be a bulletproof system where you have almost zero issues. And if you do, reach out to me. I can help you through them because I've helped a lot of people through small things. It's just, there's a learning curve behind these things. But I want to address this letter because if you're an Edge Theory Labs customer, you received this letter from the founders, and I want to address it from me, because this is huge news. Edge Theory Labs was like top 3. There was like Ice Barrel, Plunge, Edge Theory Labs, and now there's a lot of other cold plunge companies all trying to grasp at straws and get some business there. And I've reviewed a lot of them, and there's some really good ones coming out right now that are really innovating and creating some incredible products. And I can talk about that too at the end of this video, but it's really not what this video is so much about, but it kind of will be. I just want to read this letter real quick for those of you who have not seen this letter from the founders. This is on their Instagram. This went out as an email, and it's on their website right now. Dear ETL community, it is with a heavy heart that we share some difficult news. Edge Theory Labs is closing its doors. This message is one we never thought we'd have to write, and it's hard to put into words. The sense of loss we feel and regret that we will not be able to serve our community and customers moving forward. Edge Theory Labs started as a passion project between two cousins, a simple attempt to upgrade our chest freezer and to continue to get the most out of the life-changing benefits we experience from the practice of cold water immersion. From those early days tinkering in the garage, we could never have imagined the impact our work would have. Watching so many of you go all in, challenge your limits, and share your stories has been a true honor. It's something we will always hold close to our hearts. Now, I know probably some of you, especially if you've purchased Edge Theory Labs products, you probably follow Josh on Instagram. And I've never met him. I actually never even had a conversation with him, but he just seems like he was truly in it for the right reasons. He seemed like he was truly passionate about cold plunging. And he probably is. So my heart does go out to, I don't want to ever see a business go out of business, because if you started a business, it's a lot. Like, creating a business isn't easy. And anybody who's watching this, if you've ever created a business, you know what I'm talking about. It's not easy to get started. You got to find manufacturers. You got to put your resources, time and money into it, your passion. You get all excited. I'm sure there was so much excitement from these guys when they first launched this product. I know there was, because I saw it. Heck, I purchased it. So my heart goes out to them for this, but we still got to address the elephant in the room. There's a big company that sold a ton of expensive products, and now they're out of business. So what do we do? All right, let's continue. Despite our best efforts to keep Edge Theory Labs moving forward, we face critical challenges that we simply could not overcome. Failing chillers. I mean, I went through 4 of them myself. If the chillers fail, that's pretty much it. The tub is the tub. You could literally put a chiller on anything that holds water and create a cold plunge. So yeah, man, that seems like it. I mean, I currently have a chiller in my shed that doesn't work, and it's my 4th one. As cold water immersion has taught us, we chose to embrace the challenges head on with everything we had. Over the past year, we faced complex manufacturing challenges that made it difficult to uphold the high quality standards we envisioned. True. Addressing these issues required resources that, amid a rapidly shifting market and declining sales, proved beyond reach. Now, I will say that is a very true statement. I work hand in hand with a lot of cold plunge companies, and I get to see a lot of information, and it is crazy to see like the ebbs and flows of this business right now. It is in a little bit of a decline. There's a lot of companies out there creating products, fighting for market share, trying to get your attention to purchase their products. And a lot of you reach out to me and ask me, have you reviewed this? I get 10 messages a day from people asking me to review a product I haven't reviewed. And 9 of those 10 products I've never even heard of. And 8 of those 10 products are Edge Theory Labs, basically an inflatable with a all-in-one chiller. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, you know how I feel about these mass-produced all-in-one chillers that just come from China. The quality is not there. And when they do fail, most of these companies just don't have the resources or the knowledge to fix them. So they're forced to take this product back and communicate to the manufacturers overseas, which there's time differences. It just takes a lot of time. So I kind of want to warn people, like, before you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a cold plunging has changed my life and it's amazing. But before you spend thousands of dollars, do your research. Don't just buy one because you see a cool ad on Instagram. Like, it's got to make sense for you, right? So addressing these issues require resources we never had, blah, blah, blah. This is a struggle we've seen impact other companies in our industry, forcing some to close their doors as well. There has been quite a few cold plunge companies come out over the past 2 years that have came out hot, see a ton of advertising, and then they just disappear and they go out of business because they can't fix the product, right? They can't fix the problem. We've poured everything we have and then some into finding a way to make it work, but sometimes life doesn't work out the way you plan, despite our best efforts, honest intentions, and deepest commitment and desire. We know this is disappointing and will cause frustration and challenges for many of you, and we are deeply sorry. I definitely did not have plans of making this video. Definitely had no plans of going live and reading a letter like this today. But phone's been going crazy. A lot of people have been sending me this article, even though I already read it. And it definitely needs to be addressed. It breaks our hearts that we can no longer provide the post-purchase support that we committed to throughout this journey. We've operated with a commitment of putting our customers first. And though we're closing our doors, we're doing everything possible to leave you in good hands with resources and options to support you moving forward. Okay, so that leads us to the next steps. So they give us next steps. If those of you who are just hopping on, I'm an Edge Theory customer as well. They were the first cold plunge that I purchased myself. And I currently have a chiller that doesn't work. It's the 4th one. A lot of sendbacks and getbacks. So I've dealt with the same frustrations you had. The difference is I built a DIY cold plunge before it came. So I had a way to get cold. So even while my chiller was being sent back and forth, I was still able to get cold. Some of you, many of you who are probably going to see this or hear the news that Edge3 Labs closing the door, especially those of you who are currently in the middle of getting your chiller fixed from them, which is a lot. It's definitely going to be, this is going to suck. This sucks a lot. I mean, we're out, right? We're out. If you purchased a warranty, I hear that warranty company is not the greatest to deal with. If your chiller is currently not working, you have a tub right now that you can't get cold in. And that's the most frustrating thing ever. So what do we do now? The next steps that Edge3 Labs is giving us is customer support. So for help troubleshooting your unit, assess our help center here, which just takes you to like a frequently asked questions page on how to troubleshoot those units. There you'll find resources to help with common issues. If the issue cannot be resolved, you can have your unit serviced through our recommended third-party service center here, which is a form fill. No idea what that process is going to look like. Maybe I should try it with my chiller and see. There will be a fee for the service, which the service center will advise based on the repair needed. Well, that's great. If you purchase the extended warranty, you may submit a claim here. If your chiller is currently with us for return or repair, we will contact you directly to coordinate having it returned to you. Doesn't say if it's going to be returned to you fixed. As of October 31st, 2024, today, right now, our service center will be unable to receive any shipments. Our Edge app will also be shutting down, but you can still remotely control your tub through the Tuya app. Cool. Not cool. Final inventory sell. This is the crazy thing. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you know that about a week ago, I posted a video, and ironically, did I predict the future? Dang, I feel kind of bad now. Ironically, I'm bashing, I'm just talking honestly about these cheap China all-in-one chillers that suck. And a lot of companies have used them in the past and went out of business or are currently using them. We got to change. It's got to change. We got to develop products that actually work and create a customer support that actually helps people and gets these things to actually work. So I started getting a lot of messages from people, and this is where it gets crazy. Started getting a lot of messages from people sending me screenshots that Edge3 Labs is doing this massive sale. Remember, their products were like $5,000. And then all of a sudden that same product they're calling it like a massive clearance sale or a massive sale. I don't remember the exact words, but it wasn't a going out of business sale. It was just a massive sale. And they were like $1,500 for the same thing that was $5,000 a day prior. That's a red flag. That's not a good thing. Anytime a company slashes their prices 70% overnight, even on Black Friday, that's a red flag. That's a problem. So if you ever have a question, reach out to me on Instagram. It's DMoss Jr. is my handle. And I respond to 99% of any question anybody asks me, even the really long ones. Just so you know, keep it short and sweet with me. I have ADHD really bad. So like if I'm reading something and it's long, even if you have great intentions and I have great intentions, really, really difficult for me to stay engaged when it's really long. So keep it short. Send me a video, just giving you that resource, because I would love to help you out. Any problem you have. But definitely, if you send me a novel, I will not read it. Just throwing that out there. Love you, but I will not read it. Keep it short. But when I started getting this final inventory sale question, people are like, hey, is this real? Like, should I get this? I immediately said I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't spend my money on a product that, if they're cutting that price so much, I wonder why. Well, I've had 4 of their chillers and my current one doesn't work. So maybe that's why. Maybe they are going out of business. Maybe they are shifting. I thought they were shifting. I thought they might be going away from that chiller, so they wanted to clear it out. And the tubs don't cost much money to make. Like, these inflatable tubs are so cheap. That's why everybody does it. You can buy them. You can buy one for $200 from Costco, right? I don't think it has connections on the back. I haven't seen one with my own eyes, but anyway, like, these tubs aren't expensive. So it's like, even spending $1,500 for this kit, I'm like, or this whole thing, I'm like, I wouldn't. Like, that chiller is like my least favorite chiller of any of the chillers I've ever played with. So it says we're clearing out our remaining inventory of chillers, tubs, accessory swag, maintenance supplies, deeply discounted, first come, first serve. All sales are fine. And this is where I was like, no. People are like, should I buy it? I'm like, they're like, it says no warranty. Heck no. That's another red flag. You got a company selling you a product with no warranty. That's a huge red flag. So especially when it's these all-in-one chillers that I already know are a problem, and most people do. All sales are final, sold as is, no warranty. Click here to see remaining stock. Alternative solutions with Culture. Now, Culture is a company out of Canada that I just started doing some reviews with and I've been experimenting with. And so far, the chiller has been impressive for the size. But for those seeking an upgrade to a new chiller with a company we trust, we partnered with Culture. Their latest chiller is compatible with Edge Theory Labs tubs, and we've extended an exclusive discount, and they've extended an exclusive discount to Edge customers. Click here to see, enter your information to access that offer. Thank you every step we took with us, every testimonial and story you shared for being a part of Edge Theory Labs. This community has made this journey so rewarding, and we're honored to have been a part of your lives. With deep appreciation and our sincerest apologies, Joshua Church and Rob Church. That's what we got. So that's where we're at. So now anybody who's purchased an Edge Theory Labs tub, chiller, we're kind of on our own. And this is why I'm not making this video to read that letter to you. I'm making this video because I want to give a little resource that can hopefully help. So if you've followed my channel for a long time, since the beginning, you know that I started out by showing people how to build a DIY. Since then, actually, Ice Barrel was the first company to send me a product. So I got an Ice Barrel 400 and I reached out to them. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, can I cut a hole in this thing? Because I want to add my DIY that I have in a horse trough to this. And they're like, it's yours. You can do whatever you want. I was like, sick, let's go. So I ended up adding my DIY to that. And that's still a super watched and super followed DIY. I think just because the Ice Barrel is super durable, most people have no issues with that Ice Barrel. The only issue people have with the next ones are you have to add the spigot yourself on the bottom. And some people don't really know how to do that. So it leaks a little water and they don't enjoy having water on their floor. That's not what this video is about either. I just want to kind of share my story and my journey with that. So I did a little research, looked at the different tubs, and found that most all of these tubs, companies that have already gone out of business, Edge Theory Labs and others that have these inflatable tubs as their main tub, most of them have a 1/2-inch connection port. This is live, so I don't have any B-roll or anything I can show you, but I will make a video on this later when I get all the parts to show you exactly how to do it, because it is kind of crazy. There's a lot of expensive, super expensive chillers on the market you can buy. There's very few that I can honestly recommend. The list is maybe 4 chillers that I could recommend. And even then, I'm still experimenting with them. So I'm not going to tell you what to buy and it'd be a problem. I will show you what I am using. I will review products and show you how they operate, but I'm never going to tell you what to buy. When you ask me what you should buy, a lot of people do. I get a lot of messages on Instagram every day. Once again, my handle's DMoss Jr. If you want to follow me there and ask a question, feel free. But when I do get these questions, I typically will reply back with questions for you. What's your budget? What do you like most? What are you into? What are your goals with this? How many people are going to be using it? How much space do you have? Do you have a stable residence? Or are you going to be moving around a lot? There's a lot of questions I need to ask to find and sift through the products that I've been through and kind of steer you in the right direction and show you the one that might be better for your situation. Now, obviously, I'll never tell you what to buy. If you do decide to buy something that I've reviewed, thank you. It does support my channel, and that is I'm a content creator. That's what I do. So I definitely appreciate it, but I will also never sell out to a company. I am not exclusive with anybody, and I will tell you my honest thoughts on every product that I've ever reviewed. I don't want to make a video and put a company out of business by any means. I don't feel like my video last week did that. I definitely feel like it might have been predicting the future a little bit. I honestly thought they were going to be shifting and making a better product. Going out of business was not in the thought process, but it happened, and that's wild. So here's kind of a crazy diagram. I've been doing some research on it. This is a wild little diagram, but any inflatable tub that you have, you can do my DIY kit. It's not mine, it's just on Amazon. I don't sell any of these products, but I put these kits together to make it easier for people because it was very difficult for me. So if you decide to go with a 1/4 horsepower chiller kit, it's $857 for everything. And that's the kit, the pump, the filter, all the connections, the tubes, clamps, everything you need to connect this setup to any inflatable tub with a 1/2-inch or 3/4-inch threaded connection. It's a pretty bulletproof system. I've used mine for over 2 years now, and I've had 0 issues. My chiller has been on for 24/7. I never put them on a timer, and I've had no issues with my 1/2 horsepower chiller. I also have a 1/4 horsepower chiller that I've been experimenting with. So the 1/4 horsepower chiller kit, $857 today. That might go down next month with Black Friday. Who knows? It's Amazon. It's not me. And then the 1/2 horsepower chiller kit, which I would recommend for anyone who lives in a really hot climate, because these inflatable tubs, they are insulated, but they're really not that great insulated, is $1162. So for under $1,000 or for $1162, you can have a system that will actually work with your tub. And I want to offer that resource. The link is in the description. I don't know how lives work, but I'll have the link. I'm going to put that link in all my descriptions now. So, because with Edge going out of business, I feel like a lot of people are going to start watching the videos that I've done on DIY cold plunges and stuff. And I want to put those resources out there to help people. But here's my thoughts. Obviously this sucks. Seeing a big company go out of business in the cold plunge space sucks because it's a health and wellness product that people have spent lots of money on. And obviously we want those things to work. It's not buying a pair of shoes that's a couple $100 and the sole rips off. Like, that sucks. This is a $5,000, or even if you bought it yesterday before they said they're going out of business and they just called it a big sale, it's still $1,500, $2,000 system that may not be great. And that sucks, man. Like, it really freaking sucks. I don't know how else to put it, except this is just a complete bummer. It's nice that they are giving us a resource. Like, they are partnering up with Culture, passing us off to them. So if you want to get a chiller with them, that's cool that they're offering a discount, which is really cool. Like, that's nice. They didn't have to do that. They could have just shut their doors. And like here's the other thing. A lot of companies just shut their doors. And you're like, hey, where'd their Instagram page go? Just disappeared. It's probably happened 6 times that I know of. So I'm sure others are going to follow suit. The problem is when you buy these mass produced all-in-one chillers that all look the same. That was what my video was about a week ago. They're all coming from the same manufacturer. And if they're failing, if they have problems, those manufacturers don't care. They wholesale. They build these products. They sell them wholesale to these companies. And then what they do with these products is like, that's on them. We have to figure out how to maintenance these things, how to keep these things running, how to keep these things working. But I will tell you this, like, this breaks my heart for Josh. Like, I never met him, but I definitely could sense that he cared about the community. I don't know anything about his finances or anything about any of the company's finances or anything. I do know this. They advertised a lot. They were involved in so much. I feel like 2 weeks ago, they were advertising that they were partnering with NFL teams. So I could only imagine the stress that he's going through and his cousin's going through. Like, it's not like you just had a business that's closing and it just sucks. You had a business where you got a lot of people with products that don't work. So that's a problem. That's a big problem. And I don't think it's going to be okay. But I don't wish anything bad on anybody. I hope that everybody who has purchased an Edge tub gets some sort of, closure and is able to continue getting cold. I pray that everybody who has an Edge tub that doesn't have any problems, that the things just work and they have no issues with them at all. That's what I really hope. But if I can help anybody at all, I just wanted to address this. If I can help anybody at all, reach out to me on Instagram, DMoss Jr. And if you do decide, like, if you're one of those people, the reason I put that part in there is because I've had people ask, hey, can you put together a DIY video connecting a DIY to a tub? So did some research on what it would take. It's actually really, really simple. It's going to be a super simple build. So the link to that kit, like the shopping kit on Amazon, will be in the link in this description of this video. Just choose a 1/2 horsepower or a 1/4 horsepower chiller. And if you do get the 1/4 horsepower chiller, go with the 950 pump. If you do get the 1/2 horsepower chiller, go with the 1200 pump. Simple way to think about that is a smaller chiller doesn't need water to flow through it as fast. So the 950 and a 1/4 horsepower will work great. If you get the 1/2 horsepower, you can have a bigger pump. It'll move the water faster, but it'll still be able to chill your water down. Both of those chillers, the Active Aqua, have been great. I've had mine outside, so has almost everybody. I know their website says they don't recommend it outside, which is so stupid. It's an aquaponic pump or a chiller. So it's like, where do you expect us to have aquaponics inside our living room? I don't know. But the chiller's been great. So many people have used the Active Aqua chiller, and there's very little that can go wrong. There's no app. There's none of that cool stuff. You have no GFI, anything like that, but it is a good chiller. And I could say that if you do get that chiller, it's inexpensive and it works. I think that's kind of what we want, right? So I hope this video helps somebody. I know I went a little long. To the people who watched, thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please check it out, because I do have a lot of cold plunge and sauna and biohacking and health-related products reviews and stuff like that you might want to check out. If you have a question for me at all, pop them in the comments or reach out to me on Instagram. I'd love to help you out and answer those questions. Be on the lookout. I have ordered the entire kit for this, and I will show you exactly how to make a DIY cold plunge that works and is durable and dependable for tubs. And you can choose whichever tub you want, and this DIY will fit and work. Or if you just want to go with a different company, I've done a lot of videos with Plunge. I know there's a lot of Reddit forums and there's a lot of negative press on Plunge. They've been around since the beginning. They were the first cold plunge company, I believe. So obviously, the longer you're around, the more press you're going to get. And it's not always going to be positive. I mean, I know a lot of people who are stoked on their plunge and they send me videos how much they love it. But I can promise you they've never went on Reddit and talked about how much they love it. They just enjoy it. So I don't know. I just throw that out there because I enjoy working with them. They're constantly innovating, making their products better. They're listening to my feedback, which is your feedback. So if you have feedback for me to share with a founder, let me know. I love sharing that. I love having the connection with many of these founders so that we can make products that actually work and products that are actually great. Same thing with Ice Barrel. I just reviewed their new chiller. It's very expensive, but they're building the entire thing here in the States from the ground up. And it is a great system and it's pretty cool. Like, it's pretty cool to see companies now building really good systems like that. And then another sleeper that not a lot of people know about is that Sun Home Sauna. Very expensive Sun Home Sauna cold plunge. It's a pretty expensive setup, but man, I had a full-blown palm tree fall down on this thing and it still works. Like, it's got a chiller and it creates ice. So if you are one of those psychos like me and you like to get in with ice floating, the thing gets down to like 27 degrees. There's big icebergs in that thing. It's wild, but I could easily vouch for that. And actually, I probably shouldn't say this, but Ricky Ireland, the Ireland boys, he's one of my buddies. He just got one. He just FaceTimed me right before I jumped on here, and he's stoked on that thing, dude. So it's pretty cool to see people get this and to get good products and enjoy good products. For everybody who's dealing with this edge loss, freaking sucks for all of us. Once again, if you're new, if you're just jumping on at the end here, I am an Edge customer. I was one of their first customers, and this is horrible news to hear, but I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'm going to end stream. Don't know what this is my like first time going live. So don't even know what I'm supposed to do now, but be on the lookout. New content's coming soon. You.